Hello, Cree Connections. I'm Joel.
And I'm Julian, and today we're going to do an activity about bugs and insects.
First, you're going to get a chance to catch bugs and insects, and then you get a chance to become the bugs and insects.
But before we get to that, we have to go over some of the basics about bugs and insects.
There are several roles that insects play in our environment. Two of the most common roles are primary consumers and secondary consumers. Primary consumers eat plants who get their energy directly from the sun. Secondary consumers eat other insects. There are other roles that some bugs and insects play, such as detrivores who break down dead organisms, and pollinators who help plants reproduce. But what does this have to do with a watershed?
Bugs and insects are a very important part of the health of a watershed. Aquatic insects are a crucial part of a stream ecosystem and can be used to easily quantify the health of the stream. But we're not talking about aquatic insects today. Terrestrial insects are important for watershed health too. Pollinators allow many types of plants to reproduce. Without pollinators, after plants die, there would be nothing to replace them, which would lead to bare slopes and pollution through sedimentation. And without detritivores to break dead organisms down, they would eventually end up in streams where they would harm aquatic ecosystems. So even terrestrial bugs and insects are crucial to watershed health.
Now that you know a little bit about the importance of bugs and insects and the roles they play in our environment, it's time to learn how to catch them. Before you start, you're going to be split into groups of 4. Each group is given a butterfly net and a special container for catching bugs and insects. Using this butterfly net, you're going to make a figure 8 motion along the ground in the area you want to catch bugs. Afterwards, you're going to carefully put them into a container that has breathing holes so that the insects don't suffocate. Be careful not to squish them. Now that you've caught some insects and bugs, it's time to observe them. What do you see? Are they cooperating with each other? Attacking each other? Ignoring each other? There's plenty of possibilities.
At this point, you understand the ways that different insects interact with the environment as well as each other and have observed them doing so. What better way to further your understanding than to become a bug? In the same groups as before, you're now going to be making a skit based on the observations you made earlier. Think of the things you saw and get creative with it. Not everyone in your skit should be a bug or an insect. You should incorporate abiotic factors in the ecosystem into it too. Once you've decided what each of you wants to be, it's time to make costumes. It's important that all the materials for your costumes are recycled to help protect the very environment we're learning about. Once your costumes are complete, it's time to start writing your skit. These skits should be between 2 and 3 minutes in length. Here I am, a busy little bee, going from flower to flower to pollinate. Oh no, a dragonfly.
After all the groups have presented their skits, it's time for the wrap-up activity. Every student will be given a piece of paper as well as crayons or markers and will draw their favorite insect that they saw that day, or one that they particularly relate to. Have them discuss this in groups. Why do they like this insect? What do they find relatable about it? Have them share this with the whole class too.
As students share their drawings, they should also share one new thing they learned today about how bugs and insects interact with their environment. As students leave for the day, make sure to remind them to share their drawing with their family so that they can talk about what they learned, as well as to direct them toward further resources to learn about the bugs and insects of Pennsylvania.
This has been Joel.
This has been Julian.
Thank you for listening to our lesson.